good to see you guys. Patrick, a pleasure to meet you, and Joseph, good to see you again. Joseph, I want to start out with you. Obviously, you have faced sort of cinematic imminent death before, whether it's cancer with 50-50 or falling to your death with the walk. But I'm curious. And maybe this is a stupid question, but whenever you live in this world of having to imagine what it's like to potentially die, do you live your own life differently? Do you just sort of walk with a little bit more of a pep in your step whenever you walk away from the set?
That's a really interesting question. Yeah, I like to think that acting in different roles always teaches me something to bring to my life. Even though I'm playing a character that's not me, I can learn something about having, embodied that character or walked in those shoes. And this movie did that, I think, in a really intense way, because this movie was really quite different than any other acting job I've ever done. And that's what I wanted from it. I took a couple of years off of acting to have kids. And when I came back, I really wanted to find a creative challenge. I didn't want to focus on, oh, my career, I have to blah, blah, blah. I really wanted to focus on the art of it that I love so much. And with this movie, with 7500, I think I was really able to challenge myself in a way I never had before. And it's down to the way that Patrick shoots his films is so immersive. He's so geared towards letting the actors really embody the reality of their character and their story and stripping away a lot of the technical hurdles that usually comes along with acting in a movie. And so it was a very intense experience. I would actually say is probably the hardest acting job I've ever done, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. But really, really rewarding, and I think for audiences, you might really find it rewarding as well.
I think so. I want to touch on that for both of you guys. This movie struck a nerve with me in a way I didn't expect, which is really kind of bringing up these feelings of claustrophobia and helplessness, which just by nature of watching the movie at any time would have made me feel that way. But right now, with us all being stuck inside and we're watching the TV and not really knowing what to do with what's going on in the world right now, are you looking at some of those aspects of the film differently? Because obviously you didn't know what was going to happen in the world, but I sort of felt like a lot of things sort of almost had like a double emotion for me, more so than I ever expected.
You're absolutely right that the movie does bring up a feeling of claustrophobia because the whole thing is all set in the cockpit of an airplane. And I think that claustrophobic feeling actually serves as a great metaphor for what the story is about, that the world is getting smaller. We as a human race are all feeling kind of claustrophobic. We don't have anywhere else to go. We all just are sharing this one planet, Earth. And just like the people in the cockpit, they don't have anywhere else to go. They're all trapped in the cockpit. And there's so many different people from different backgrounds, different perspectives, different cultures, and that's a wonderful thing. But it also sometimes leads to prejudice. It leads to tensions of people dehumanizing each other and putting each other in boxes. And this movie is about how people in that claustrophobic setting need to overcome that tendency to dehumanize and to focus on prejudice, and need to figure out what we have in common as humans, even though we might come from very different places or different perspectives.
For sure. And as we wrap up, I did want to ask about, I'm so fascinated with the shooting style. I know the script was a little loose. It was more like these really long 30, 40-minute takes, and you would kind of just roll with it and sort of see what happens and what came out of it. I'm curious for both of you guys, what was the best moment that came out of the fact that it was shot in that way, where you just kind of kept rolling just to see what would happen?
You go, Patrick.
For me, it's always the best moment when something that I didn't expect or something new came up from, when you use the creativity of these great actors and you just let them go, and you write something and they come up with so much more and so much more powerful answers. That's always something that is, when it happens right in front of you in the moment we're shooting and we're doing this, and I have an image in my mind, and they bring it up something like so different and so much more beautiful than I could ever imagine. And I think for me the most beautiful moment was in the end, when they're sitting down and Joseph thinks about like what he lost, and there's this tear just running down his cheek. I never imagined, and I was like, that
wasn't scripted.
It wasn't scripted. No, it just came up, and he just came up with that moment. That it's just, that's the beauty of letting these great artists like run free, you know?
Joe, is that what you would have said, or was there a different moment?
No, that seems like a good answer to me.
That's incredible, guys. I cannot even begin to express how much I love this movie, and seriously, I think we all very much need a distraction in one way or another right now. So seriously, thank you so much for your time. And Patrick, I hope we get to talk many times. Joe, you've always been so kind to me, and hopefully next time we all talk, it's in person.
Great to see you again, man.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Jake.